everyone, and welcome back. So today we are going to continue on here in Genshin Impact. Oh, so we have to go back here because this is where we were staying.
Yep, there's the room, and it's empty and waiting for us as promised. Navia is such a good person. Now that the serial disappearances case has been solved, no one's going to come after us for anything. Even without Silver standing guard, we can just completely relax. Why don't we stay and rest up here for a while? Even machines in Fontaine need to stop and recharge now and then. Oh, come on! This place isn't that bad. Besides, how often do we get to stay in an actual base?
Yeah, the truth.
Oh, fine. Remember that detective story Paimon read before? Well, the author is about to release a new book, so Paimon wanted to buy it as soon as it came out and have a quiet place to read it. Then it's agreed. Come on, let's get some sleep. We'll need to be up first thing in the morning to get in line and buy a copy.
I'm on you and your book. I mean, don't get me wrong. I myself am a bookish person.
I don't respect that style at all. Even though it's a detective novel, it's also like a social documentary. Ooh, it's actually pretty good. No! Paimon just spends a bit more time sleeping than you, that's all.
Excuse me, but do you know if the Traveler and Paimon are lodging here?
Huh? Who are you? Paimon doesn't recall seeing you before. Wait, you're not here to give us trouble, are you?
A blonde traveler and a chatty little fairy. Looks like I found the place. Good thing I asked the Spina di Rosula. Seems they sent me the right way.
Hey, what do you mean by chatty? Paimon's always careful not to talk too much.
Paimon?
Time anyway.
It's an honor to meet you both. I was sent from the Palais Mermonia. Monsieur Nourilette wishes to see you. It seems he has something important to discuss in person.
Is this about child?
He wants to see us again already? Huh. We talked so much the last time we met. Has something happened since then?
I am not privy to the details. It would be best if you came to the Palais Mermonia and asked Monsieur Nourilette in person.
Yep, this is definitely about child.
But Paimon has a bad feeling about this.
Now that I've delivered the message, I'll take my leave.
Thanks! We haven't left the room for a few days, so we'll head over once we've freshened up a bit.
Did we just get moved by a dog? Anthem. That. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have taken that. But we also need to do that anyway. Yeah, let's go ahead and claim those. Oh, it already puts us at 2. How lovely. Alright. Go ahead and deal with the recipe. And let's deal with... offer all. Wrong thing. Let's do this little guy. Because Charlotte can't help us right now. Let's go ahead and do this then. Let's go back to Mondstadt. This is part of the new stuff, actually. So, this is relevant timeline. Or recent timeline, should I say. Let me check something real quick. Okay, so that's Interlude Act 3. So this should technically be taking place around here, maybe? It says that it's Interlude Chapter Act 4? What? Screw it. Let's go ahead.
Wow! The city is all decked out! Oh, it's beautiful!
Forewarning, there are certain characters that are not voiced.
Which means no Mora. But Catherine's always looking out for us, so we should still drop by and say hello.
Greetings, traveler. Paimon.
Hey, Catherine! Still doing the whole no commissions during Windbloom thing?
In general, yes. The people of Mondstadt don't delegate their work to others this time of year. But feel free to take a look around. I think you'll pick up on something unusual.
Take a look around, huh?
It's finally Windbloom. And here I am ruining everything.
You're a bit tired. No big deal. Give it some time. How about doing something fun tonight? We could take a stroll or go stargazing.
Stargazing? Like we'll find a spot. You know people start reserving places on Star Snatch Cliff the moment the sun goes down. Sorry, I'm just not in the mood. I should go.
Whoa! Something's off with Beatrice. She would never give up a chance to talk to Quinn. This is weird.
Oh, you're leaving? I can walk you home.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I just need some time to myself. Besides, there's still something I need to do. The truth is, Quinn, not long ago,
What is it? Is there something wrong?
Never mind. It's nothing. Actually, Quinn, I think we should stop seeing each other for now.
What is
Huh?
going on?
Wait, are you saying we can't be friends anymore? I thought we were best friends.
Did you see that? Beatrice ran off without looking back. Oh, we go adventuring in other nations for a bit, and one of Mondstadt's best friendship stories is already over? So, is this what you meant by unusual, Catherine?
This is just one example. Beatrice has been feeling down for days. But that's not all.
Oh, it's the honorary knight in Paimon.
Is something wrong? You don't look so good.
I know a knight should be stronger than this, but I haven't been feeling right lately. I just can't focus. I started sleepwalking out of nowhere. Sometimes I'd even wake up in the middle of the night standing in a random location outside.
You should see a doctor.
I did, but all the tests came back normal. The doctor said I'm fine.
How?
Yeah, I even consulted Miss Barbara at the church, but her conclusion was the same. In any case, she was kind enough to pray to Lord Barbados for me to get better. Is it because I saw something I wasn't meant to see? Sorry, this is for me to figure out. It is Windbloom after all. Anyway, I have patrol to finish. Until next time, you two.
Huh. Is it something in the air, maybe?
I doubt it.
It appears Miss Donna is also out of sorts.
Where can I find a truly fascinating man?
Wait, but Donna is the one who has a huge crush on Diluc, right?
That's what I thought too. But she seems to have changed her mind.
Is that Captain Kaya? Huh. Now that I look at him, he's exactly my type. How come I never felt this way before?
Yeah, see? This is what I meant.
Oh, no. Of course not. I'm sorry, Captain. Just pretend I didn't say anything. And, have a happy Windbloom.
Good question, Kaya.
So, you knew about that? Well, Master Diluc came into the city not too long ago, but when I saw him, it was like the butterflies just weren't there anymore. If I had to compare it to something, it would be like waking up and realizing you're married to a man you don't love. But then I saw you, and it wasn't that something was different about you. I can't really explain it. It was just a feeling.
Okay.
Oh, here he comes. Well, surprised to see us?
Okay. Let's do this.
Not at all. Have fun, you three.
So, you said you were looking for us.
So, I have information on who is able to actually speak out of the certain main characters in 5.6 for Mondstadt. One of them is one of my favorites. So, I'm hoping he shows up in this at some point. Oh, look at Mondstadt! The garlands, the plants. It's all so pretty. They really know what they're doing when dressing up for a festival. Did I go to the wrong building? Yes.
Ah, Kaya.
Ah,
found
you
them.
look.
Good. With what's about to happen, it's great to have you in town.
Whoa, headquarters are packed. What's going on?
Honorary Knight Paimon. Oh, it's an honor to meet you. I believe introductions are in order?
Oh, you're all captains?
That's right. Master Jean is waiting for you inside. She'll explain everything.
Jean!
Yeah, Jean does not have a voice either. Because of there being no voice, I will probably have to start going ahead and reading aloud. There have been a number of incidents in Mondstadt. In order to wrap up the case, I gathered all the captains of the Knights of Favonius together to hold a trial.
A trial? But this is Mondstadt, not Fontaine.
I am. I hate that. Okay. I can understand the confusion. You've never participated in one of our trials before. In truth, we haven't had to conduct one in quite some time. The Knights of Favonius oversee most matters of law and order in Mondstadt. course, in the interest of fairness, most major cases are tried jointly with the Church. Under the guidance of Barbados, the Knights uphold chivalric justice and the spirit of our order. The Church carries blessings and goodwill wherever the wind can reach. In today's case, requires a joint trial by both parties.
Which means it's a serious one. So, do you need our help?
Hold on, the group of people we saw in the corridor just now, there was someone missing. Yeah, what?
Right! He's the captain of the investigation team! But we didn't see him out there!
A keen observation, Wolfie. Traveler. That happens to be exactly why I called you here. In the upcoming trial against Captain Albedo, we will do our utmost to understand the facts of this case, deliver a fair and impartial verdict.
Albedo is the one on trial? What did he do?
Dean, it's time. Understood. Wolfie, or Traveler, Paimon, come with me. So gross. You, Luke. Please sit wherever you like. I only ask that you remain calm, no matter what you hear. I need to head over there. Don't worry, the trial will be fair. Now that everyone is gathered, let us begin. With Grandmaster Varka away from Mondstadt for the time being, I, Jean Gunhilder, will oversee today's proceedings. Mr. Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius, will serve as assessor. As representatives of our respective organizations, we will ensure a just verdict in this case.
Oh, that's a new face! Deacon of the church. Does that mean he works with Barbara and Rosaria?
The defendant in today's case is the captain of the investigation team, Albedo. Albedo, what did you do? Certain aspects of this case are classified, and it remains uncertain whether the alleged victims are citizens of Mondstadt. As such, this trial is not open to the public. The identities of the victims are still unknown. Strange. If guilt is established in this case, all facts will be made public after the final verdict is delivered. Now the captain of the logistics company, Miss Hertha, will present charges. The court appoints Mr. Kaya to speak on Mr. Albedo's behalf. Are both parties ready to proceed? Yes.
Ready to proceed.
Miss Hertha, the floor is yours.
Prior to this trial, the Knights of Favonius, in conjunction with the Church, launched an investigation into Mr. Albedo for suspected murder and unlawful disposal of human remains.
Murder?
A witness stated that, 11 days ago, in the middle of the night, she saw the defendant southeast of the city gates, dragging a large object she later identified as a human body.
No. There's no way!
We now call that witness to the stand. Beatrice, please tell us what you saw.
Oh, so that's why she was acting strange. Beatrice, so is that what she was trying to tell Glenn earlier?
Well, I was out late that night on business. And when I came back, I saw someone in the moonlight that looked like Mr. Albedo. He was dragging a huge bag of some kind. I thought it was strange, so I followed him. Then, there was a sudden flash of golden light. The bag opened, and inside there was a body. Mr. Albedo's vision allows him to manipulate the ground with ease. So he buried it, and then removed any traces on the ground. Before he left, it seemed like he looked in my direction. Maybe it was just my imagination, but I was terrified thinking he might kill me too. Luckily, he didn't see me.
I now turn to the defendant. Describe your whereabouts that night. Okay, so Albedo doesn't have a voice either. I was working in my office on the second floor of the Knights of Favonius headquarters. That's right. The next day, the defendant submitted his latest environmental report on the Dragonspine region. Considering the length of the text, it must have taken a considerable amount of time to finish.
Can anyone attest to the fact that the defendant was working in his office that night?
No.
Then the length of the report is not a sufficient alibi.
This isn't looking good.
If the crime did occur as you described, then what about the body? You mentioned the joint investigation. Well, was the body recovered?
Not yet.
In other words, you dug up the location Miss Beatrice described and found nothing. You don't find that suspicious?
I know what I saw. I'm telling the truth, Miss Hertha, I swear. Also, didn't you say that speaking out would help protect the people of Mondstadt? Otherwise, I'd never put myself out here like this.
You're doing the right thing. Besides, the investigation wasn't fruitless. A single men's shoe and a torn piece of fabric were found in the bushes near the crime scene. The same location the witness described. If no crime occurred, then is all this just a coincidence?
And yet, no victim has been identified, correct?
It's true. No one has been reported missing. However, Miss Beatrice harbors no ill will toward the defendant. Her testimony clearly points to a crime, and she has no reason to lie.
Does the defendant wish to say anything in response? You may believe otherwise, Miss Hertha, but I did not kill a single person. As a knight and the captain of the investigation team, I have a duty to protect Mondstadt and its people. You accuse me of murder, but there's no body or motive.
The defendant raises an important point. Motive. Yet, I must be frank, not all murders are premeditated. Spontaneous conflict can also have unforeseen consequences. Nevertheless, I don't intend to prosecute this case on circumstantial evidence alone. Which brings me to the second charge against Mr. Albedo.
Second charge?
Please proceed.
7 days ago, at dawn, a witness saw the defendant dispose of the body of an adult male in the area between Dragonspine and Dawn Winery. I now call the second witness to the stand.
Is that D-Luke?
Wait, that's...
D-Luke Ragnivider. Please tell the court what you saw. D-Luke doesn't have a voice either. At around 3:40 in the morning, I saw Mr. Albedo dispose of a body beneath a cliff. It was dark, but he used the power of Geo to illuminate his surroundings. From what I could tell, it looked like the body of an adult male, tall and thin, but I couldn't make out the age. He buried the body underneath the cliff and smoothed out the ground to remove any traces.
We now have accounts from two separate witnesses that describe the same modus operandi. Would you call that a coincidence?
I would only inquire as to what Mr. D-Luke was doing in that area so early in the morning. Not the most opportune time for a stroll. Is there such a thing? Dawn Winery is my home. It's not unusual for me to take walks in the area. I just happen to be in the right place at the right time. That's all. Master D-Luke is a well-respected figure in Mondstadt. I see no reason for him to frame Mr. Albedo. Yet the question remains, where are the bodies?
Before you suggest a lack of evidence, Mr. Kaya, you should know. After the defendant left that morning, the witness found this where the body was buried.
This is what looks like the teeth and femur of a human. Now, it does beg the question, if the burial was fresh, why is this all that remains of the body? But I suppose Mr. Albedo is the only one who can answer that? Careful now, Master T. Luke. I do believe I hear a presumption of guilt in there somewhere.
These remains suggest an accelerated rate of decomposition. Considering the defendant's profession, there's reason to suspect that alchemy is at play here. Both witnesses saw golden light, a known byproduct of alchemy. That's how the defendant destroyed the bodies. The light also explains how the witnesses were able to get a clear view of the events in the dark.
Blanchering. Alchemy. A logical assessment, but we have a witness of our own. The afternoon before the alleged second murder, Mr. Albedo had a lengthy intellectual exchange with his student, Sucrose. The two were in the library until the next morning. Why did the discussion last so long? Miss Sucrose was presenting the results of her research. She noticed some flaws in the data and insisted on reviewing her calculations until the next morning, with Mr. Albedo present. That's right. We were in the library together.
You're certain Mr. Albedo was present the whole time?
Yes, and I know Mr. Albedo would never kill someone. He could never be that cruel.
Nevertheless, the other witnesses have no reason to lie. Tell me, Miss Sucrose, that meeting in the library, were you awake the whole time? Sounds like a considerable duration to go without sleep.
Oh,
I do hope you can be truthful with us. It concerns the safety of countless Mondstadt citizens. A crime like this cannot go unpunished.
I'll take it from you. During our meeting, Sucrose did fall asleep not long after midnight. It's alright, Sucrose. You don't have to lie for me. This is a sacred place of judgment. The truth is paramount. Albedo. I see. Then I'm afraid your alibi cannot be sustained. Initiated. Do you understand? Yes, I know claiming innocence without proof isn't enough. But the prosecution's argument has its own holes. There's been no mention of a motive, but what exact method could reduce a human body to those remains?
No conclusive evidence of guilt. But the witness accounts do match to an extent that can't be dismissed. This is a tricky one.
Allow me to submit another piece of evidence. The investigators intercepted one of Mr. Albedo's correspondences. I will now read the pertinent parts to the court.
Correspondence? Oh no. The envelope does look like it belongs to Mr. Albedo.
I have never abandoned the subject of human research. In fact, delving deeper into Dragonspine has led me to realize that the concept of life could be further expanded and transformed into that of birth. The mystery of human birth is often linked to death. As such, death is the most suitable material for the creation of new life. To that end, we must engage in a process of putrefaction and refinement.
Putrefaction? Refinement?
Is that in reference to an alchemical process?
The letter continues. Experimental trials have been carried out in the northwestern part of Dragonspine, in the area southeast of Mondstadt's main gate. The data is as expected. Just as you endeavored to do, I too shall take up the path of creation, and break through current limitations to reach a new realm of living beings.
I trust the investigators have confirmed this to be the defendant's handwriting, that the letter makes more than passing mention of putrefaction and refinement.
Correct. Not to mention, the locations indicated in the letter match both crime scenes. What more can we trust than the defendant's own words?
No, it can't be true.
Oh, is that Rosaria in the back? I can't
A
believe it.
guilty verdict cannot be delivered without sufficient evidence. In order to protect all parties involved, that is what our principles demand. My original assessment was that we lacked said evidence. But now, it seems the only remaining questions are the identities of the victims and the specific alchemical process used in this case.
Then we are in agreement. The evidence is conclusive. On the charges of murder and unlawful disposal of human remains, the court finds the defendant guilty. The people in the audience appear shocked. No one can believe a kind and well-mannered person like Albedo could commit such a crime. Jean stipulates that those unsatisfied with the verdict will have time to submit an objection or appeal, but most appear hopeless in this moment. As you watch Albedo being taken back to headquarters, you get a strange feeling that something hidden is about to come to light. It all comes back to the letter. A secret that you and Albedo know all too well, but the people of Mondstadt have yet to discover.
Why would Albedo do something like that? Oh, this has to be a nightmare.
Albedo told me his secret once, that he was a synthetic human created through alchemy. Could that have something to do with this case? But what? Following in Granddaughter's footsteps just because he's an alchemical creation? This would only make him more suspicious. All this took a turn for the worse.
Rosaria! Oh, when did you get here?
I've been here the whole time. I happen to have a message to pass along. For us? Yes, you're needed at Star Snatch Cliff. He's waiting for you there.
Who is he?
You'll know when you get there. Go on now. Time is like the wind. It waits for no one. The current story seems to be related to your past adventures. Would you like to quickly go over and review those experiences? Yes! Okay. Shadows amidst snowstorms. Review. You and Paimon went to Dragon's Mine to ask Albedo, who was conducting research there, some questions about alchemy, only to encounter a series of strange events. Strange yet soft noises echoing through the mountains that cannot be traced. The ransacking and theft of alchemical notes at the campsite. Albedo disappearing after a chat outside a cave, but having no memory of the incident. At the same time, Eula encountered Albedo somewhere on the mountain attempting to lead a child away, and he attacked Eula upon being discovered. You were able to confirm the presence of a mysterious figure impersonating Albedo. A running battle ensued, ambushing and being ambushed, hunting and being hunted. In the end, Albedo eliminated the giant mutant, while Flower posing as him. Yet, there were more than 2 people wearing that face on the mountain. Alright,
Word of advice, don't break.
so, now that we have that information, you know what? Let's just go ahead and go here. Venti. Ah, Paimon, wolf. Ah, traveler, Paimon. I could hear your arrival upon the wind. Were you looking for me?
Venti, did you send us that message?
No, I did.
The hell?
Whoa, where did you come from? Wait, Venti, do you know this guy? His name is, what is his name again?
Didn't think I was that unmemorable. I'm Dahlia, Deacon of the Church of Favonius, and Herald of the Animo Archon Barbados. Not gonna forget next time, right?
So you called us here so we could meet with Venti?
That's right. I noticed you during the trial. The legendary honorary knight. You seem to have a lot of thoughts on your mind, so I thought we should have a chat. After all, I am the Herald of Barbados. If the people of Mondstadt are in danger, I should keep the Animo Archon in the loop.
The fact that he knows that he is Barbados. How? I have no idea. Because he doesn't exactly show himself to people.
Wait then, you know about...
About what? The fact that my tavern-hopping nomad of a friend is Barbados himself?
Don't worry. Dahlia and I are close. He knows everything. Besides, a god needs someone to communicate their will in a formal setting. No one does that better than Dahlia.
Not that I saw that coming when we first met. But back to the matter at hand. I believe you two already know about Albedo's background.
If you mean his true identity, then yeah, we do.
So, you know too, Venti? That's surprisingly Archon-like of you.
Well, I knew from the moment Granddaughter and Alice brought Albedo to Mondstadt. When those two are in town, no one can afford to slack off. The Creative Prince, a perfect specimen of synthetic life. This stage of the case, there are countless questions surrounding Albedo's motive. His true identity is a potential.
A synthetic being loses control of their sanity and goes on a killing spree. That's how a novel would frame the story, and people are inclined to agree.
Albedo has told us before that humans often value the ordinary over the transcendent and miraculous.
And the slightest difference is perceived as other, a very common phenomenon.
Which means, we need to find a way to help your friend. What do you know about the situation, Venti? Me? Well, I know that Albedo is a synthetic being, that a lot of strange things have been happening in Mondstadt. Even though Windbloom should be about drinking and having fun.
We noticed that too! The minute we got here, something was off.
I've picked up on most of those too. Miles is out of sorts, Beatrice seems anxious. Although I didn't know Donna stopped being interested in Master Diluc.
When no love remains for the song to tell, the world becomes naught but an empty shell. Cruel is said fate, cruel it may be, were it not for a hero who could set us all free.
What are you getting at, Tone Deaf Bard?
Oh, just making a comment. There are always unavoidable trials in life. At least that's what Barbados would say. Certain someone is going to need to overcome a trial. In such cases, even the Seven know better than to tamper with fate. Only there was a brave soul willing to aid their friend in his time of need. Should he meet a terrible fate, all of Mondstadt could be worse for it.
If you wanted our help, you could have just asked, you know.
Well, even if Albedo wasn't at the center of this case, protecting Mondstadt is part of being an honorary knight, right? You'll still have to help, of course. Which is why I prepared a little surprise. Yo! Wait! It's one of Clay's bombs! The only way you know it's Cleese is the 4-leaf clover on the back. Don't worry. I removed the fuse, so it's not going to explode. Say hello to the Dodo communication device.
So, this thing belongs to you now?
We're old pals. Don't think she'd care if I borrowed it for a few days. Anyway, this invention, with a little help, a trick of mine, will allow us to keep in touch. Just take it out and chat. We'll do our best to uncover the truth. That's all I ask. No matter what comes, you have the wind on your side. Okay. So, a Klee bomb got transformed into a communication device. I just don't understand. I know you all must be shocked, but the evidence is solid. Albedo's situation is not looking good.
I still don't believe Albedo would do something like that. Using living people as alchemical test subjects? It's like something out of a novel.
Perhaps it's best for me to remain impartial, but I've worked with Albedo before. He's an alchemist, not a sadist.
This version of events is as hard for me to accept as anyone, but Barca once said Albedo is very different from the rest of us. Perhaps there are things we still need to learn about him? Let's see what Albedo has to say for himself first. Would you mind giving me a moment, everyone? Private matter requires my attention.
Hey, Jean!
Wolf, Traveler, Paimon, perfect timing. Kaya has a favor to ask. Like Jean said after the verdict, we have time to submit an appeal, and I will do my utmost to convince Albedo to accept. He's been acting strange, and I can't read him for the life of me. But I need you two to start investigating the case. Okay. Yes, it's also time for you to get involved. No, we'd like you to launch an investigation of your own. I'll continue working on his defense in the meantime. If you find anything that might help his case, just let me know. I know it's against the spirit of the season to task you with this, but Albedo is a trusted member of our ranks. We owe him the benefit of the doubt. I know you'll get to the bottom of this, Traveler. You've never failed us in our time of need.
But what if the accusations turn out to be true?
Then you will have done Mondstadt a great service all the same. I'm expecting a retrial. Till then, you're welcome to have a look around Albedo's office on the second floor. Counting on you. So we get to go to the second floor. Wait. Doesn't give the look up thing? Aww. There's no sword in the ceiling. Never actually been up to the second floor. Or the third. Because we haven't really been able to.
Wait, Captain Kaya! Surely I can't just...
These two are here on Jean's orders. She asked them to investigate Albedo's office.
Oh, in that case, head on in.
So this is Albedo's office. Pretty much exactly how Paimon pictured it.
Alright, I have some work of my own, so I'll leave you to it. Good luck, you two.
Right back at ya.
Just so I have an idea of what we were given. Where is it? We were given a thing, and now I can't find it.
If you ever see any stickers on my back, do me a favor and take them off. Malazines like to play pranks sometimes.
Alright, let's see what we can find.
There's a stack of books on the desk, mostly relating to alchemy, environmental science, and life science. Some of the pages have been marked with alchemical symbols, and others have S-shaped or triangle symbols drawn on them. Any potential meaning is unclear.
Wow, these books are so fancy! Albedo must have gone to great lengths to get them.
A lockbox sits on the desk. Latch bears signs of wear, suggesting the importance of whatever lies within. The box likely remained locked most of the time. But now, the lid remains wide open as if the owner was forced to leave in a hurry. Didn't have time to lock it. Perhaps the letter intercepted by the investigators was once stored here? The remaining contents shouldn't hold much weight as conclusive evidence, but you still have a strange feeling after reviewing them. In elegant penmanship, the letter reads, "In addition, I do happen to have some information on the subject of our last discussion. The materials and arcane information required for human transmutation. The informations in these records likely originate from the Conrian art of Chemia. But relevant documentation has not been well maintained over time. So I cannot guarantee there are no errors or omissions. As thanks for your past assistance, I've enclosed the records with the letter. But it does not mean I support your pursuit for this research. Ethics aside, I'm not convinced it's even possible to create a human whose existence is identical to our own. The idea that the dynamic of creator and creation could exist within the same species is cause for concern. Even with a talent like yours, I must urge you to proceed with caution. The signature belongs to an unfamiliar name, one that also appears on an alchemy book nearby. Skim the preface and learn that the author is an old and accomplished alchemist. The person is likely a friend from Albedo's academic circle, someone who owed Albedo a favor, but also urged him to refrain from conducting dangerous research."
Human transmutation? Is Albedo seriously looking into that? Ooh, Paimon doesn't want to think about that.
It doesn't look good, but this letter can't directly prove that Albedo did anything. Besides, a technique like that would be too dangerous to share with the public, right? That's why it wasn't brought up during the trial. Test tubes? There's a test tube on the shelf with some black powder residue at the bottom. Next to it lies a neatly written note. Chalk is the next stage after soil, but the current available materials are still insufficient to construct a stable structure.
Nope. No idea what that means. Not sure if it's too hard for Paimon or too hard for anyone outside this line of work.
Research notes. Albedo's notes lie on the table. They resemble the ones you've seen before, but the contents are different this time. As always, the penmanship is impeccable, careful and neat with a certain elegance in its uniformity, much like the man himself. One of the notes reads, "Putrefaction could be regarded as a counter-simulation to the process of life, like a highly efficient and destructive spell of rot. Upon use, the target will decay within an extremely short period of time, turning into dust that is nearly invisible to the naked eye before dissipating into the air." Okay, there's nothing else to investigate.
Alright, let's see what we can find.
Oh, so now that we have, after removing the book, the desk looks almost empty. Your hand slipped while moving the book, causing the hardcover book to strike the desk. The resounding noise is a bit unusual. It's subtle, but to an experienced adventurer, it sounds too hollow, almost like there's a compartment within the desk.
Wait, it looks like there's a hidden compartment under the desk.
There does appear to be a compartment added to one side of the desk. It was very well hidden. The lock mechanism is complex. It seems to involve elemental power in some way. Perhaps you could try using the power of Geo? The hidden compartment opens. Inside lies a piece of paper with more information. Festering is also a manifestation of rot. When festering forces in a sufficient amount of life energy collide, the two will repel each other, triggering a powerful side effect. When I tested this in an alchemical experiment, the results of the refinement were startling. Breaking through the shackles of life, the simulation of the Blank Project, I must take advantage of this opportunity.
The name of the project is blotted out in ink. What could it be?
The note mentioned festering forces, which suggests that Dragon's mind could be involved somehow. If this has something to do with creating synthetic life, would Albedo go that far for one of his experiments? No, that can't be. Amid the notes is a map with a few markings on it. Two of the marked locations correspond to the crime scenes, and the third appears to be in Dragon's Spine. Oh, we're going back to Dragon's Spine! I hate it! It's a hard pill to swallow, but if the results of the joint investigation are correct, there could be a body hidden in that last location, or at the very least, what remains of it.
Huh. What does this mean? Oh, do you think something might also be buried at the last location? Alright, that seems to be it for this place. We should go tell Jean what we found.
Dodo, 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 Dodo.
Oh, Vent is calling! Let's answer!
How's the investigation go? Find anything?
Oh, we found stuff alright. Stuff that only makes Albedo look even more suspicious.
I see. So Albedo's researching something that doesn't help his case, huh? Not promising. Should be grateful Albedo's true identity remains hidden. If it gets out that he's one of Granddaughter's creations, there'd be no separating him from her past. As we both know, Granddaughter's approach to alchemy and ethics, pure madness. And the evidence you just found, let's just say it could convince even those closest to him of his guilt. Perhaps even you. Yeah, how could his handwriting have been faked? Then it comes down to trust. Do you trust Albedo?
Yeah, he's our friend. We should keep the faith. And if he really is the culprit, he must have had a reason, right? Maybe he's just not allowed to talk about it. Yeah, that must be it.
Either way, fair investigation means coming to a conclusion presented by the facts. Does that mean even Venti no longer believes in him? Remaining objective has its own value. Remember, none of this is your fault. Just report back with an honest assessment of the facts.
Yeah. Well, let's go find Jean and tell her what we learned. Wait, that's Miles. What's he doing here?
Oh, sorry. I heard voices and wasn't sure if I should check who was inside.
It's okay. We're here on Jean's orders.
Ah, I see. I'll, leave you to it then.
Hold on. You didn't hear what we were saying, did you?
Oh, not really. Nothing that made sense anyway.
Well, do us a favor and just forget anything you might have heard, okay?
Oh, sure. You got it.
That map we found in the hidden compartment seems important. We should check out the marked locations.
But I don't wanna go here. Oh well, don't have much of a choice. At least it's down. There it is.
We should be getting close.
Although everything is covered in snow, as a seasoned adventurer, you notice a spot on the ground that looks quite different from its surroundings. You remove the snow and find a sizable pool underneath, large enough to fit a human body. But the hole is completely empty, and the surrounding markings make it look like something was dug up. Did an animal do this? Or some monster?
Weird. There's a hole, but no body. The prosecution's argument is that Albedo used alchemy to destroy the bodies, but this location is different from the other two. Why not fill the hole, or smooth out the ground like the other places?
If one person did all this, why not remove the traces like the others? And if Albedo isn't the one responsible, why was this location marked in his notes? You're back. Did you find anything?
Yeah, but none of it helps Albedo's case.
I see. A complicated result, but your efforts are appreciated. Yes, he asked for a retrial. There are still questions surrounding the identities of the victims, the disappearance of the bodies. The minimal remains that were uncovered have been sent for forensic analysis, which should provide some answers. It's just...
What's wrong?
The victims turn out to be Mondstadt citizens. The situation becomes all the more serious. The second trial would likely have to be open to the public. I doubt public sentiment will be in Albedo's favor.
Yeah, not when the charges are so serious.
The second trial is set to take place in 2 days. I hope you consider attending this one as well.
Of course, we'll be there. In the meantime, we should all just stay positive.
Well said. When the time comes, I'll carry out my duty to the best of my ability. Miles. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, y'all.